These are our notes on circles and arcs. This is our circle, and we call it circle E. E is our center right here. Our radius would be ED, EC, EA, and it's going from the center to the outside, covering half the distance. AC all the way across is our diameter, and then we have angle CED and angle DEA are called our central angles. And we can also add on to our notes that angle CED would be equal to measure of segment CD, and angle DEA is equal to measure of AD. Here's some other terminology. For our minor arc, we know that that is less than 180 degrees. And the other thing we can say for that is that it's less than 2 letters. So your minor arc contains less than 2 letters. Your semicircle is equal to 180 degrees, and it's also equal to 3 letters. And then for our major arc, that would be greater than 180 degrees, and it would also contain more than 3 letters. Other terms we have on here are central angles, and those are always going to be equal to our arc. And then adjacent arc means that it's next to and it has exactly 1 point in common. So we'll look at those on this next screen. If we go through and we find each of these, we can see here that AB would be equal to, let me put in here, angle AEB. And when we find that, that would be 90 degrees, which is marked for us there. And then CAB would be equal to, if you look here, CAB would be equal to 360 minus that piece that's missing, so minus 132, and that would equal 228 degrees. And then for DAB, look up here for DAB, that's going to be equal to 180. For CD, you're looking at just this little piece here, and that is going to be your 180 minus this, which is 132. And for CD, that leaves us with 48. For BC, we can see up here, BC is already marked. This angle is 132. And for CBD, so for CBD, right here, we're going all the way around. So for this one, we're going to take 360 minus this piece that's missing, which is 48. And that leaves us with 312. And then for AC, we're just going to take, going from here all the way around, we're going to take our 48. AC should actually be right here, so we're going to go, here's 48, 90, so we're just going to add those together. So we get 48 plus 90 equals 138. Make sure you have all those copied down so we have the values for each. We're going to find circumference, and you can see that the formula for circumference is circumference equals 2 pi radius, or 2 pi r. And then here's for your arc length, so measure of arc divided by 360 degrees times 2 pi r. So we're going to find the circumference and the length of the arc length of ACB. Now, on the last ones we just found, we were finding the measure of arc, so that's in degrees. But for arc length, we're going to leave it in terms of pi for our answer. So, looking at this first one, it wants us to find the circumference of D, circle D. So, we're going to say circumference equals, our formula is 2 pi r. And when we plug in our radius, that would be 2 pi 9. So when we solve for that, we would find that circumference equals 18 pi of whatever measure you're using. And that would be our answer that we would give. And now that's going to help us solve for our arc length as well. So this one wants us to find the length of arc ACB. So again, we're going to look up at this circle, and for this one, I'm just going to write length of ACB. So we're looking for arc length here, equals measure of your ACB divided by 360, and then we want to multiply that by 2 pi r. So when we start to plug in our values, we're going to have equals 330. Okay, so if we're looking at ACB, you can see here we go almost all the way around the circle. We have 30 left, so that's how we get the 330 divided by 360 times, right here we remember our radius was 9, and down here we figured our circumference, so that's going to be times 18 pi, and that is going to equal, I'm going to write that right underneath, that's going to equal 198 divided by 12, pi, and that equals 16.5, and remember we're going to leave this as pi, and I'm just going to put measures or whatever units we're using, and this would be your answer for that, 16.5 pi, and then your unit of measure.